What's up, everybody, man? It's your boy, Mr. Duga, coming at y'all with another video, man. And today, man, I'm gonna finally preview and predict who I think gonna win between Saturday night's showdown in Death Valley between the #1 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide and the #3 ranked LSU Tigers, man. First, taking a look back on the history of this series in Death Valley since Nick Saban has been the coach at Alabama. You know, the first game was in 2008, man. Alabama was undefeated, ranked #1. LSU was like number 16. You know, College Game Day had came over because, you know, it was the first time that Nick Saban returned to Death Valley since he took the head coaching job at Alabama. And I remember it was a good game, man. They scored on us first, you know, then we came back, hit a long pass to Demetrius Byrd. Then Charles Scott broke a long run. Then I think it was Rashad Johnson or somebody caught a pick six from Jared Lee. You know, that was the Jared Lee pick six year, you know what I'm saying, when he was giving them things out like every week. You know, then Alabama went down, scored. We went down and scored another Charles Scott touchdown. They had the field goal at the end of regulation, a chip shot that was blocked, I think by, was it Ricky Jean Francois that blocked it, I want to say? Went to overtime, got the ball first. Jared Lee threw a pick to Rashad Johnson in the end zone. Then Alabama came down and John Parker Wilson snuck it in and they beat us in overtime 27-21. 2010, man, they came in. I don't remember what we both was ranked, but I know we both came in with one loss. They had a loss at South Carolina. We had a loss at Auburn. And it was the game, man. You know, they came out, scored and stuff like that. And it was the game whenever it was a 4th and 1 play, and Les Miles ran a trick play where he handed it off to Stephen Ridley, and he pitched it over to D'Angelo Peterson, who ran around the end, you know, for a nice game. Then we handed it in to Ridley. You know, they got the ball back, and then Greg McElroy fumbled, got strip sacked and fumbled, I think, by Drake Nevis. And I want to say Calvin Shepard recovered it, kicked the field goal. They came down, scored. You know, yeah, man. After that, they tried to get the ball back. And then Jared Lee hit a long pass to Ruben Randall. Ruben Randall had a great game. He had a 75-yard touchdown catch and another crucial catch at the end of the game to seal the game. And we won the game. I think it was like 24-21 or something like that. We beat them. You know, 2012, man, they came in. It was another top 5 showdown. Death Valley at night, man. Zach Mettenberger was on fire, man. Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham and Jeremy Hill couldn't be stopped that night, man. But every time we got near the red zone, man, we kind of got stagnant, you know what I'm saying? Mettenberger threw a touchdown pass to Jarvis Landry. He went over to the Alabama people, you know, talking noise. You know, they came, after they took a 14-3 lead, we came out with 2 touchdowns to go up 17-14. And something which today I still can't forgive Les Miles for. We had the ball running out the clock. It was 3rd and 5. Alabama didn't have, I want to say they had one more timeout or no more timeouts. 3rd and 5, man, like Mettenberger was hot. Like every crucial big 3rd down play, he basically was hitting it. And Les Miles got conservative, hand the ball up the middle to Jeremy Hill, settled for like a 40-something-yard field goal by Drew Allemore, which he missed. They came down, you know the story, they came down, hit Yelled on the screen and beat us, man. You know, after that, man, they came, I think they was ranked 5th. I forgot what we was ranked. You know, Malachi Dupree caught a touchdown to get things started. Then Amari Cooper caught a touchdown. You know, we both kicked the field goal. TJ Yeldon fumbled. We had a personal foul penalty, kicked the field goal, kicked the ball out of bounds. Blake Sims went down, got a good scramble. They kicked the field goal, tied the game, sent it to overtime. They scored in overtime, and then in overtime we went 4 and out, and they beat us. And last time, man, we came into the game, bruh, you know, Alabama was #1, undisputed and all that other stuff. You know, it was a great defensive struggle game. It went into the 4th quarter, tied 0-0. Jalen Hurts got a little scramble run for a touchdown. Then they kicked the field goal and they beat us 10-0. So since Nick Saban has been at Alabama, yes, Alabama has beat us in Death Valley 3 out of 4 times, man, including the last 3, well, 4 out of 5, excuse me, including the last 3 straight, man. And all these games, man, come down to the fourth quarter. You know, 2 of them went to overtime. 1 of them came down to the very last, to under 2 minutes left. And 1 came down, it was a tie game in the fourth quarter, man. So, yeah, LSU, I know Alabama is playing well, but this ain't some garbage LSU team, man. This LSU team is ranked number 3 in the country. Like, how you got a team, when was the last time a number 1 ranked team was a 14.5-point favorite on the road against the number 3 ranked team, bro? That's a division rival on the road. And the history shows you that these games always come down to the fourth quarter, especially in Death Valley, yo. That's something that I don't understand, man. But breaking down the game, man, you know, they got Tua, Tua's looked great, man. They've played Powder Puff University, but for the most part, man, Tua has looked great, man. You know, he got great touch on his deep passes. He's accurate. He hits intermediate passes. He's smart with the football, and he got a little bit of mobility. Not as much mobility as Jalen Hurts, but he has some mobility with him, man. You know, he's a real legit quarterback, man. Looks like, man, he might end up being a first-round pick after next year, you know, if he stays healthy. You know, he has weapons to throw to, you know, Devontae Smith, who was a A-Meat Louisiana native, you know, caught a game-winning touchdown against Mississippi State last year, game-winning touchdown in the national championship against Georgia. You know, they got Judy, you know, they got Ruggs, you know, and the running backs, they got Damian Hatt. They don't really have that, you know, like us, we don't have the Farnetts and the Darius Geises of the world. They don't have the Derrick Henrys and the TJ Yeldons and Mark Ingrams of the world, but, you know, they got Damian Harrison, who is a solid running back, man. You know, they got that guy Jacobs, I think is number 8. You know, they got the guy from California, man. I think he number 22, man. I can't remember his name, but he was a big-time recruit for them a couple of years ago. You know, offensive line, you know, they got an offensive lineman that's projected to go high in the draft. You know, defensively, they're still good. They're going to always be a good defensive team with Nick Saban over there, man. You know, they're not as dominant defensively as they've been the last few years or whatever. But, yeah, man, they got a pretty good defense, man. They get after the quarterback. They got Baton Rouge, Louisiana native Dylan Moses over there running around in the middle. You know, they got Patrick Surtain, who was basically our recruit on National Signing Day over there, freshman playing corner. They got Savion Smith over there, who was at LSU, who LSU, you know, kicked off the team for issues he had. He went over there to Alabama. You know, yeah, man, they're a good team, man. Like they're a great team. They're a great team, man. They're number 1 in the country for a reason. You know what I'm saying? LSU, man, like I said, we got the Devin White suspension for the first half, which sucks. It's unfortunate. Patrick Queen gonna have to step in for him. But you know, man, we still got Jacob Phillips out there. We got Rashard Lawrence, man. You know, in the secondary, I feel like we got the best secondary, man, with Greedy Williams and Grant Delpit, you know, Christian Fulton, John Battle, you know, offensively, Jambalaya Joe, man. Like, the last time we had a great home game against Georgia, man, he stepped up and he played, man. He got that thing rolling, man. He showed courage. He showed heart. He showed swagger. And, you know, he's very smart, man. You know, we got Jambalaya Joe calling the controls, man. Nick Brissett and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a nice little 1-2 punch in the backfield. You know, Justin Jefferson, man, who's been doing this thing. You know, we got Stephon Solomon, the freshmen, Jamar Chase, Terrence McGee, you know, Derek Dillon, D. Anderson, man. This is a great matchup, man. On paper, this is a great matchup, man. I know everybody want to think Alabama going to beat a 65-7. That ain't the case, man. LSU is a really good football team, is a really talented football team, and playing at home in Death Valley, man. You know, got great matchups. Our defense against their offense. They high-flying offense versus our stout defense. You know, Dave Aranda, the best defensive coordinator in the country, got 2 weeks to prepare for tour, man. You know. Honestly, man, this game reminds me a lot of the 2012 game. And so, ironically, that year we came in as a top 5 team with 1 loss also to Florida in the swamp. You know what I'm saying? They coming in high power, unanimous #1. Nobody think they could be beat. I remember that year, people didn't think we could get a yard against their defense. This year, nobody think we could stop their offense. We could even make their offense punt once. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say this, man. I may be biased as hell. I may be. I'm sure I'm probably am, man. But honestly, in my heart, yo, at some point, man, they've beaten us 7 straight, man. At some point, this streak got to end at some point, yo. You know, people forget before Saban got there, well, the 4 years before Saban got there, in his first year, we had beat them 5 times in a row, too. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, at some point, this streak got to end, man. And I always felt like this streak was going to end in Death Valley. I also felt like this streak was going to end whenever we had a quarterback that we truly believed in, man. And it reminds me of the 2012 game, but the difference is I don't think Steve Ensminger and Ed Orgeron gonna get conservative at the end, man. I don't think they get conservative, man. So you know what? I said LSU's gonna win this game. I said LSU's gonna pull the upset. LSU's gonna get the job done, man. I said LSU wins this game. I say, unlike last time, we closed the deal, man. Another thing that's going without being mentioned, man, we got the best field goal kicker in the country. And Alabama still struggles to kick field goals, man. I think it come down to that, man. I think LSU wins this game, man. 24-21. LSU wins this game, man. I think we hold that high-flying Alabama offense down to 21 points. I think our offense go out there and musters up 24 points. And Cole Tracy kicks a big field goal at the end to win this game, man. With that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today, man. I appreciate y'all checking out the video. Go on, get your boys subscribed, man. I'm going to have LSU content throughout the season, man. Y'all have a blessed one. Go Tigers!